Colleague who is standing by, Siphamandla Goge, our senior reporter here at ENCA, just to give us the lay of the land and, of course, speak to some of the guests that we've got. Siphamandla, it certainly seems as though the sun has risen out here in Midrand. How are things looking from your side?
Indeed, the moment of truth has arrived for DA leaders and members who are gathering at Gallagher Estate for this federal congress. The party says this is the biggest federal congress in the history of the official opposition. We'll take a walk at the registration center with my colleague Debo Masilo because we want to give you the mood and the vibe. What you are getting here is that delegates are ready. It appears as if they will start on time because if you check in terms of what they've been anticipating, they had anticipated to start on time at around about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and of course the focus is on two main contestants, that is John as well as Dr. Phalatse. I see these are the delegates from the Eastern Cape. They are singing Zizo Jigi Zinto Wenu Khalelani. Let's just give you natural song. My brother, how are you, Nraba? Are you well? The Eastern Cape is here. What are you looking forward to for this conference? Who are you supporting? What is your leadership preference?
I'm supporting myself first as a deputy federal chairperson, but of course I've made it very clear that I will support John Steenhuisen for the work that he has been doing, and I've worked with him as a leader of the province in the Eastern Cape for 2 terms. I think I've done a wonderful job. What we want to do, in which I've offered, that we need a DA now that connects with the people, a DA that feels, a DA that is going to work with the people, a DA that's going to play and cry with the people. And in 2024, I'll be next to John Steenhuisen running the country.
Where you are from in the Eastern Cape, the DA has a lot of work to do. After this, the task of the newly elected leadership will be to deal with 2 main things that you know better: unstable coalitions and gunning for 2024. It's not going to be easy.
It's really not easy. That's why South Africans should understand that coalitions are not easy to run. They must be very decisive in choosing a party that is stable like a DA, a party that has systems, and because we have seen throughout the country that this does not work. But it looks like the future is about coalitions in South Africa. We have to try and find legislations to govern, to stabilize this legislation.
I have to leave you, my brother. Thank you very much. I've spotted John Steenhuisen here. Of course, he's the front runner as the leader of the DA. He's the current incumbent here. Hi, John. How are you? Are you okay, John? Live on ENCA, John. It's a big day for you, big moment for the DA. What are you promising? Why are you seeking re-election?
I'm going to make sure that the DA is battle ready to take the fight to the ANC in 2024, making sure that we've got the resources, the activists, the funding to be able to mount a successful campaign that's going to capture the imagination of South Africa and get people out to vote. And that's the main mission.
2019 was really not good for you, and 2024 promises to be tough. In terms of the future of South Africa, coalitions appear to be the future. Are you thinking about that as the DA? It would appear that you are likely to have a DA-led coalition, ANC-led coalition. Who are you willing to work with?
Well, I think that you'd have to wait till Sunday to hear about that. but coalitions are the way, are definitely going to be in the future, and we're going to have to learn to navigate them far better than we have already. And I'm going to be speaking a little bit more about that on Sunday.
Let's talk about policy issues. The country is in turmoil. Economic challenges, social challenges, unemployment, poverty, inequality. The DA policy direction. What are you going to be discussing in terms of policies? What would you like to see happening and changing policy-wise within the DA?
Well, we're obviously going to be debating a number of policies this weekend, and chief amongst them, how we get the economy working, how we get the lights back on in South Africa, and how we keep people safe in their homes, on the streets and in their businesses, and how we deliver services to people. All of those are going to be top of the agenda this weekend, and we look forward to putting forward a credible policy platform for the voters next year, so that when they look at the DA, they see this as a party that's serious about governing. And we will use the areas where we're already governing as proof points about what happens when people trust the DA.
Ordinarily, in any other political party, if the head of policy departs on the eve of a congress, that will be big news for a number of days. Are you worried about the departure of Gwen?
I'm not worried about it. People come and go, and Gwen was made a very big and generous offer in the private sector that we couldn't match. But she did finished all of the policy that we required going into the Congress. So she had agreed to stay on until the Congress, and she did that, and we wish her well in the future. I think she's going to do great things in her new job, and I think that she will be back in the DA in the future. She remains a member, she remains a supporter, and she's obviously going to go on to do some great successes in her new thing, and I wish her well.
Race relations, diversity are some of the key issues that you will need to discuss and be seized with. Many people have said the DA is for the minority.
Well, I think that if you have a look around our Congress, you'll see that's a complete and utter lie. That's a lie peddled by opponents because they can't tackle our record in government, they can't tackle our policy, and they can't beat our ideas for the future. We are the most diverse party in the country, we have the most diverse support base, we have the most diverse top six, we have the most diverse caucus representation. There's no other party that comes close to us.
In Ekurhuleni, Tanya Campbell is gone. Are you worried about that? Are you reclaiming the municipalities and metros that you are losing?
Well, we took Tshwane again, and it's been a bit of a merry-go-round, and I think it's a lesson for voters about where they put their cross in an election, because there's always consequences for that. But like Nelson Mandela Bay and like Tshwane, I'm no doubt we will regain Ekurhuleni when the coalition of corruption collapses, because thieves always fall out.
In the event that you do not emerge, even though this looks like a given for you, would you support a leader that will be elected here?
Absolutely. I'm a solid Democrat. I have been since I joined the DA when I was 22 years old. And whoever's elected the leader, if it's not me, I will go back to Parliament and I will get behind them and I will make sure that they are the biggest success, because the country needs the DA, not personalities. The country needs the DA to save and secure our future.
Thank you very much for your time. That is John Steenhuisen, who is the current incumbent, the federal leader of the DA, who is seeking re-election. We are also trying to look for and get hold of Dr. Phalatse. I think here I see, let me just... Uyabuya madoda.
Uyabuya uJohn kanjani? Uyabuya uJohn kanjani? John.
Those are some of the delegates here. I think I see former Ekurhuleni Mayor Tanya Campbell here. I see former... Hello, how are you? Good. What do you make of the developments in Ekurhuleni?
Well, yes, you know, we're a democratic party, so we'll listen to the democratic vote that happened. But I am concerned, obviously. A lot of hard work has gone in, but we will keep on fighting. I always said I'm not desperate, but I'm desperate for services. And as long as services are rendered, we will always make sure that that happens.
Are you going to come back as the mayor then?
I was cheeky the last time and I said I'll be back, and I'm saying again, I'll be back.
Thank you very much for time. Who do you support here in terms of your leadership preference, and why?
Definitely John. We need somebody who's got energy. We need somebody who's got the party's best interest at heart, and that can grow our party, and John is the man for that.
Thank you very much for time. Tanya Campbell, the former mayor of Ekurhuleni, who was deposed by the coalition there. So these are the scenes here at Gallagher Estate ahead of the start of the Federal Congress of the official opposition, the Democratic Alliance. With that, we'll have to take it back to you in studio for now, with the hope that we'll be getting more candidates, particularly Dr. Phalatse, who's going toe-to-toe with John Steenhuisen.